axis here, it looks like they are trying to create a fire break to keep the fire from spreading, throughout the Pentagon. And it's been spreading from right to left, as you see the picture on the right, from the crater, and that's basically heading north. And firefighters here are trying to get this thing contained, and they haven't yet, 9 hours later. And again, until they do, take a look at that. This from Skyfox. Utter devastation here, and it's amazing because this sort of does look like the Murrah building in downtown Oklahoma City from 6 years ago. And if this alone happened today, it would be unbelievable. But then the pictures from New York, the Twin Towers, just totally dwarf this. But take a look. That's what Skyfox showed us earlier today from the Pentagon. This is not live. This was earlier, a couple hours ago, from Skyfox, and you can see the different layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers in. The different rings, they call them, leading into the atrium of the Pentagon. And the first 3, E, D, and C, were penetrated by the American airline jet and are still on fire. This a couple of hours ago, but still on fire at this hour, 9 hours later. So until they get this thing contained, they cannot go in and find out how many people were killed and may still be alive inside the Pentagon here. Just an incredible afternoon, incredible day here in Washington as well as New York, Tracy and Mike.
You're right, incredible is the word, Bob, and we're going to use your experience in Oklahoma as a reason to hold on to hope that perhaps even several hours after this, started this morning, that perhaps they can still find survivors as they did in the Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma.
There was that 15-year-old girl who was trapped. They had to amputate her leg from concrete that had fallen on her. So perhaps, as difficult as it may seem looking at the picture, especially on the right, and on the left is the triage from earlier. This is the work that Skyfox is showing you on the left from earlier. This is where they set up an on-site emergency room, if you will, taking care of the injured here. So they were able to get to the people who got out of the building, but perhaps there are still, hard as it may seem to believe looking at the crater that was left by this plane that was intentionally steered into the building here at the Pentagon. But there is a chance perhaps there are people alive in there, and boy, you just hope they're holding on, because they're not going to go in until they get this fire contained. And as we did learn in Oklahoma City, there were people that were pulled out of rubble even as devastating